Yeah, happy Friday, Rumbleverse. All right, happy Thanksgiving as well. I hope everyone had a great turkey day. Welcome to Talk Dirty to Me. Thank you for joining me once again. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel so you never miss an episode and you stay up to date on the latest cybersecurity news. You can also join me on Locals for exclusive content. As always, I will share the links to these articles in the video description for anyone that is interested. Okay, let's get into it. There's a lot to cover as usual. I'll try to keep it short. Luna Moth Gang invests in call centers to target businesses with callback phishing campaigns. So the Luna Moth campaign has extorted hundreds of thousands of dollars from several victims in the legal and retail sectors. The attacks are notable for employing a technique called callback phishing or telephone-oriented attack delivery, wherein the victims are social engineered into making a phone call through phishing emails containing invoices and subscription-themed lures. So a little more detail on the callback phishing attack, so you get an understanding of what it is. The scheme eventually acts as an entry point to conduct financial fraud or facilitate the delivery of next stage payloads such as ransomware. This first gained popularity in 2020 for its novel approach of distributing the Bazaar backdoor malware by manipulating potential victims into calling a phone number specified in the decoy email message. These emails bait the user and aim to create a false sense of urgency, informing the recipients about renewal of a trial subscription, for example, maybe like an antivirus service. So the message also urges them to contact their support desk to cancel the plan, or they risk getting automatically charged for the premium version of the software. The ultimate goal of the attacks is to enable remote access to the endpoint under the guise of terminating the supposed subscription or installing a security solution to rid the machine of malware, effectively paving the way for follow-on activities. Now, the Luna Moth attacks are the product of a single highly organized campaign. This threat actor has significantly invested in call centers and infrastructure that's unique to each victim. It is a pervasive multi-month campaign that is actively evolving. What's notable about callback phishing is that email messages are completely devoid of any malicious attachment or booby trap links, allowing them to evade detection and slip past email protection solutions. Their messages typically come with an invoice that includes a phone number that the user can call to cancel the supposed subscription. In reality, the victims are rerouted to an actor-controlled call center and connected to a live agent on the other end who ends up installing a remote access tool for persistence. The attacker will then seek to identify valuable information on the victim's computer and connect file shares, and they will quietly exfiltrate it to servers that they control using a file transfer tool. The campaign may be resource intensive, but it's also technically less sophisticated and likely have a much higher success rate than other phishing attacks. On top of that, it enables extortion without encryption, permitting malicious actors to plunder sensitive data without the need to deploy ransomware to lock the files after exfiltration. Extortion demands range from 2 to 78 bitcoins based on the organization targeted. The adversary is also said to offer discounts of nearly 25% for prompt payment, although there's no guarantee that data is deleted. The threat actors behind this campaign have taken great pains to avoid all non-essential tools and malware to minimize the potential for detection. Since there are very few early indicators that a victim is under attack, employee cybersecurity awareness training is the first line of defense. Android File Manager app infected thousands of devices with SharkBot malware. The Android banking fraud malware known as SharkBot has reared its head once again on the official Google Play Store, posing as file managers to bypass the app marketplace's restrictions. A majority of the users who downloaded the rogue apps are located in the UK and Italy, according to Bitdefender. SharkBot, first discovered towards the end of 2021, is a recurring mobile threat distributed both on the Google Play Store and other third-party app stores. One of the Trojan's primary goals is to initiate money transfers from compromised devices via a technique called automatic transfer systems, or ATS, in which a transaction triggered via a banking app is intercepted to swap the payee account with an actor-controlled account in the background. It's capable of serving a fake login overlay when users attempt to open legitimate banking apps, stealing the credentials in the process. Often, such apps offer seemingly harmless functionality, masquerading as antivirus software and cleaners to sneak into Google Play Store, but they also double up as droppers that once installed on the device can fetch the malware payload. The dropper apps now taken down are Xfile Manager with over 10,000 downloads, File Voyager with over 5,000, and Light Cleaner M with over 1,000 downloads. With Google steadily clamping down on permission abuse, the threat actor's choice of using a file manager as a lure is not surprising. Because Google's developer program policy restricts the permission to install external packages, invariably, this permission is abused to download and install malware from a remote server. Some of the targeted bank apps include Bank of Ireland, Bank of Scotland, Barclays, BNL, HSBC UK, Lloyds Bank, Metro Bank, and Santander. Users who have installed the aforementioned apps are recommended to delete them and change their bank account passwords immediately. Users are also advised to enable Play Store Protect and scrutinize app ratings and reviews before downloading them. Top cybersecurity threats facing e-commerce sites this holiday season. Since today is Black Friday here in the States and the official kickoff to the holiday shopping season, I thought it would be a good idea to bring this one up. So, delivering a superior customer experience is essential for any e-commerce business. For those companies, there's a lot at stake this holiday season. According to Digital Commerce 360, nearly $1 of every $4 spent on retail purchases during the 2022 holiday season will be spent online, resulting in $224 billion in e-commerce sales. While safety and security are top priorities for businesses of all sizes, it is essential for those who operate in the e-commerce space. To deliver the experience customers crave, many websites embed third-party solutions at every stage of the customer journey. In fact, for certain e-commerce businesses, their suite of third-party plugins is how they create a sustain a competitive advantage. Yet many e-commerce sites are inherently insecure and vulnerable to attack due to their reliance on untrustworthy third-party solutions. Consequently, client-side security is a weak point for many e-commerce sites, allowing security incidents to occur directly in the browser without the customer realizing it. Attackers can take advantage of security vulnerabilities on the client side via e-skimming, form jacking, or cross-site scripting. These attacks can compromise customer data such as credit card numbers, personal info, and login credentials. They can also sometimes lead to financial loss for the e-commerce business and potential regulatory compliance violations. When an attack involves e-skimming, cybercriminals insert code to skim data from a page that processes a customer's credit card data. Since this attack occurs on the client side, e-commerce businesses cannot observe the attack firsthand and react quickly. Many e-commerce sites rely heavily on forms to gather customer data. Form jacking inserts an attacker between the merchant, allowing the attacker to access and record any data that a customer shares via a compromised form. Cross-site scripting embeds malicious code on the client side. The code runs when a customer visits the site, allowing the attacker to gather the customer's personal, financial, and session data. The proliferation of insecure third-party apps and the inability to observe an attack perpetrated via the client side provides attackers with enticing targets to exploit. The fact that attackers use security weaknesses in third-party plugins and not the e-commerce site itself means little, if anything, to an individual who is victimized. Since the attack took place via the website, for most customers, the responsibility for securing the interaction rests with the site owner. To improve client-side security, e-commerce companies should minimize their reliance on third-party code without impacting the user experience. Deploying well-known third-party solutions with a commitment to security can also help. And as with every type of software, plugins and apps should receive patches as soon as possible as they become available. Additionally, simulating cyber attacks that target the e-commerce company's website can uncover potential attack vectors before criminals can exploit them. Deploying additional layers of customer authentication can add critical layers of security and make it harder for an attacker to compromise a session. Security software and applications can also harden your defenses and make it harder for attackers to use client-side vulnerabilities to their advantage. These solutions can uncover security flaws and quickly deploy security measures to mitigate vulnerabilities. They can also detect attacks quickly and lessen a company's exposure to client-side security risks. When security flaws exist, sophisticated criminals will eventually find and exploit them. The massive spike in e-commerce traffic during the holiday season provides attackers with the perfect cover to use these flaws in client-side security to steal personal and financial data. Customers expect e-commerce sites to protect their personal and financial data, yet when client-side attacks occur via third-party apps, online merchants are often unaware of their flaws and cannot see when attackers use this to their advantage. For many e-commerce businesses, since the vulnerabilities are out of their direct line of sight, they do not receive the attention they deserve. Attackers aren't so short sighted. Where security flaws and vulnerabilities exist, it's often only a question of time before they are exploited. E commerce companies must take proactive steps to understand and mitigate the risks of client side security vulnerabilities. Otherwise, attackers will continue to take advantage of them, leading to a loss of customer trust and confidence and the potential for financial losses and an increase in regulatory oversight. All right, that's it for this week. Thank you again for joining me. Don't forget the game is tomorrow. Michigan at Ohio State, noon Eastern. Go blue. Rumbleverse. Stay safe out there. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next time.